Hey guys, be here with our next first four Fridays. Today we are reading the first four pages of Be Dazzled by Ryan Sala. This one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll read the description first and then we'll get right into the first four pages. So, Raffi has a passion for bedazzling. Not just bedazzling, but sewing, stitching, draping, pattern making, for creation. He's always chosen his art over everything and everyone else, and is determined to make his mark at this year's biggest cosplay competition. If he can wow there, it could lead to sponsorship, then art school, and finally earning real respect for his work. There's only one small problem. Raffi's ex-boyfriend, Luca, is his main competition. Raffi tried to make it work with Luca. They almost made the perfect team last year, after serendipitously meeting in the rhinestone aisle at the local craft store. At least, Raffi thought they did. But Luca's insecurities and Raffi's insistence on crafting perfection caused their relationship to crash and burn. Now, Raffi is after the perfect comeback, one that Luca can't ruin. But when Raffi is forced to partner with Luca on his most ambitious build yet, he'll have to juggle unresolved feelings for the boy who broke his heart, and his own intense self-doubt to get everything he's ever wanted, choosing his art, his way. Be Dazzled is an epic, queer love story about creativity, passion, and finding the courage to be your most authentic self. So, here are the first four pages of Be Dazzled. One, now. The Boston Convention Center has good security, but it doesn't have missile launchers, which means it would have a pretty tough time defending itself against Evie Odom, my mother. If she knew I was outside this place, she would probably descend from the low clouds of this foggy Boston morning like some sort of alien doomsday spacecraft and vaporize me. And if she knew I was standing out here in a costume that can only be described as fungus chic for all the Boston seaport to see, well, that's worse than being vaporized. Some think I'm being dramatic, which, okay, fine. Maybe they'd be a little right, but mostly they would be wrong. This is Evie Odom here, the self-made millionaire artist turned gallery director, the woman of onyx eyes and champagne lips, according to her Times profile, which was for sure pinned by a gay man. But in my opinion, Evie is just sort of evil, like a fashionable antichrist sent by the art world to look down upon all things pop culture, cartoon, and craft. So her son, Raphael Odom, the boy currently stumbling out of an Uber dressed as a cartoon made out of crafts, on his way into a pop culture convention, Evie would hate it. Actually, she does hate it. But we're a two-person family. We can't discuss the things we hate about one another without polarizing the entire house. So, to survive her wrath, I hide my crafting and my cosplaying. And I pretend I don't spend hours fashioning incredible costumes out of hot glue and household hardware. And I lie, and I sneak. Basically, I do whatever I can to avoid Evie's particularly flamboyant form of hate. What Evie hates, she destroys. It's her thing. For a while in the early 90s, she was famous for hating and destroying replicas of her work. Usually she did this in front of an audience, often for a lot of money. What Evie hates, she destroys. Oh, I just read that. So as you can imagine, I'm not trying to get caught sneaking into conventions. I'm rushing, dragging my friend May behind me as we exit the car and dive into the crowd of con-goers loitering outside. May is slow in her clunky costume, 100% my fault. I built it. Sorry, May. But we don't let 2 tons of foam and hot glue stop us from hitting warp speed. People scream and scatter in our wake. Maybe someone loses an eye. I don't know. I don't care about injuries. There's only one force I trust to keep me safe from my mother, and that's the group of ladies that runs check-in at Controverse. I don't know if they volunteer or if they're paid handsomely, I only know that if you're not on their list, you are not getting into the con. Not if you're the president, not if you're Jesus Christ, not even if you're Satan. And yet, Evie is Evie. So just in case they can't stop her, I've taken every precaution to make sure she doesn't know I'm here in the first place. She thinks May and I are camping. Camping! Out in the blue hills of Massachusetts, like some plucky settlers of Catan. It is the most outrageous lie I've ever told her, and I was downright offended when she accepted it without protest, only saying, "Do not bring any ticks into my house, Raphael." "Out of my way," I snap as a group of girls trying to take photos of us. They lower their phones and drift apart, letting us pass to the front of the crowd. "Raffi, will you just calm down for 2 seconds?" May protests. "I certainly will not." "Come on, they just want photos with us." "You're not even on your stilts, and we need to do final touches." "Oh, you mean when you make me sit on the floor so you can glue mold to my face?" "It's not mold, it's moss. And it's not just glue, it's spirit gum. It needs to look real, like little organic puffs." "The little organic puff," May says in her grand voice, which is just her normal voice, but with an affected Maggie Smith and Downton Abbey accent. "That's the title of your memoir, The Little Organic Puff by Raphael Odom." I continue listing all the ways we, or really I, need to do before we hit the con floor. And then I have to test the power packs for the LEDs and check to make sure the vape cartridge is full, and you need to practice walking in those stilts. And I need to touch up some of my toadstools. There's a lot to do. I don't want anything hitting social until we're perfect. Typically, you show up at a con ready, but with all of this sneaking, we have to get ready on the go. Not ideal, but necessary. Lucky for us, the bigger cons now have changing rooms so people can suit up on location. That's why I have a rolling suitcase. "But the moss, are you sure I need to wear it? It's itchy, and besides, my mask nearly covers my whole face." "Yes, I'm sure. It's all about being fully in character. The judges will appreciate the detail if they ask you to remove the mask, which they will. You'll see." May scrunches up her eyebrows. Fine, you can mold me," she says. "Sometimes I think you get off on these things, Raph." "May, gross. I'm gay, and so are you." "So what? Gay people do all sorts of things. Just out and about." All right. Dear reader, that was the end of the first 4 pages of Dazzled by Ryan Sala. If you would like, you can pick up this book at the library. It is ready for checkout right now. And if you need more like it, just talk to a librarian and we will get you some suggestions. So, until next week, be safe, be kind, wash your hands, and we'll see you next Friday for First 4 Fridays. Bye, guys.